Welcome. Hello, everybody. Good to see you again. I'm here with a big heart of mine. It's for you. It's a gift. And you see, we have many little hearts in here as well. So they are hearts. Maybe it can help you guess what this lesson is about, what the new sound is. Review something from the previous lesson. Do you remember the story at the beginning of Unit 5? Uncle Brad, Hunter, Cops, Buns, the hut in summer near the sea. He was a fisherman. Yes, you remember. And now let's review what happened because in this part, we want to continue that story and see what's going to happen next. Well, he broke his cup, let's say his favorite cup, and he started to cry and he got very emotional and out of control because he maybe really loved his cup. And because it had a bun, the bun, he loved buns very much. And then Hunter decided to go to him, to see and meet his emotional uncle because that wasn't, a the normal Uncle Brad. So he had to go to him to talk in person and see what the real thing is because he was shocked that Uncle Brad was crying over something so unimportant like that. Now, let's continue and see and carefully listen to the rest of the story. Uncle Brad told Hunter that his wife had left him. He said, "She took the farm cat, packed her car, and left." "Did something bad happen, Uncle Brad?" No, not really. We had an argument about the barn." I told her it was too far from the hut and that we had to build a new hut near the barn. But she said that she loved our hut and said that we could build a new barn instead. We just had a calm conversation. I hope she comes back soon. Yes, I know, Aunt Angela. She's not mad at you. She'll be back very soon. Uncle Brad? What? What's this fish smell in the hut? Oh, it's the cops. I went to the sea and filled my cart with cops. Your aunt loves cops very much. And I hope this will end the argument. Suddenly, the door opens and Aunt Angela comes in with a cat on her head. It wouldn't come down. After Uncle Brad said that he had been worried so much, she explained, I took the cat to the vet. She has a problem with her heart. So I thought I could stay with her at the clinic. Oh, oh, what an awful smell. It's been days and this fish smell doesn't go away. Brad, I think you're right. Let's go with your idea. We need to build a new hut. Let's forget about the new barn because you love that barn. So what do you think? Uncle Brad was very happy and thought that maybe he should cover his cart and kept the smell a secret. If you were Uncle Brad, what would you do? Would you tell the truth or just cover it and lie about it? Now, let's notice sounds in the story, and I know and I hope that there are many words you want to know more about. So let's see. We had the word carp, that fish, and the word cap. Which sound is the new sound of Unit 6? Definitely carp. Hut, heart, hat. These with a sound helped us to understand how we should produce the a sound in the words cup and hut. Do you remember how we should make this sound and this sound and go from the sound a to a? You can go and review some of that and then come back. In this lesson, again, we want to go from the sound a to the new sound we have in here. And we forget about the a sound for now to learn how exactly we should use our jaws, tongue, and lips to make the sound right. So let's focus on that. What should you do to make the sound a? Think about your jaw and lips. Yes, very open, like not completely open, and then how the back of the tongue goes down when you say ah. Do you know more about this sound? What about this part? It's the front of the tongue, and it should go up, down, and here up. But this part, the tip touches the bottom teeth. Ah, 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 ah. Feel the front of the tongue going up a little, and the back of the tongue goes down. So the sound ah, ah. Is it a long or short sound? Ah, ah. It's a short sound. Very good. So you remember it. Now about the new sound. Ah, ah, heart, heart, cop, cop. It's as open as your jaw when you say the sound ah. But what about the shape of the lips? In the sound ah, it's spread. And in here, your lips are neutral when you say heart. The very important part is the tongue. Compare. Can you see the difference? Which part goes up when you say heart? Ah, ah. The back of the tongue goes up. That's right. Now say ah and try to put the back of your tongue up. For ah, it was like going down. Now pull it up a little. Now say ah, 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 ah. Can you feel the back of your tongue going up a little? Ah, ah. This part of the tongue, which is it? Is it the back or the middle part? It's somewhere between the back and the middle part of your tongue. You can just say middle because we don't want it to become very difficult for you to understand. So this part goes up. Right. We say like cop, cop, heart. In British English, we need to think about this part of the tongue as well, and it should go down a little bit. A little bit. Like you relax the middle of your tongue and you let it go down. When you say heart, heart, cop, ah, ah. مثل اینه که کمی دارین این صدا رو کمی لوس مثلا میخواین بگین. اینجوری هم میشه بهش گفت چون تغییری که ایجاد میکنه توی صدا همینه. When you say heart, heart وقتی که صدا قطعا طولانیه توی این بازه زمانی که کمی صدا کشیده تره این قسمت رو حس میکنین تغییرش رو روی ایجاد صدا که فقط نباشه heart باشه heart 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 cop cop barn barn. So first of all, you need to open your mouth and keep your lips neutral. Say ah, focus on your lips. Focus on the lips. Ah, ah. Open and lips neutral. Don't spread. Then you raise the back of your tongue. Raise. You lower it. Here you raise it. Ah, ah, ah. همزمان که تمرکز روی زبان میریم روی لبها تمرکزتون باشه. یعنی اونو تغییرش ندین دیگه. همزمان که اونو حفظ میکنین تغییر رو روی زبان هم ایجاد کنیم. آ آ. Be careful. The tip of your tongue should touch the bottom teeth. You say ah, 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 ah. At this part, you lower the middle of your tongue a little. Heart, heart, ah. Lower, lower this part. Heart, heart. You know, in American English, it's like the middle of your tongue doesn't go down and doesn't change that much. In that accent, your tongue is simply flat. اولش که شروع میکنین بگین آ با بالا بردن انتهای زبون شروع کنین و بعد وقتی یک کمی صدا رو میکشین تمرکز رو ببرین روی این قسمت middle of the tongue که باید بیاد پایین تر یکم. And say heart, heart, barn, car, aunt, aunt. So, this is how we show the sound we just learned. How do you say it? Ah. Very good. So practice saying by changing everything correctly in your mouth and say it repeatedly so you gain control over the way you say the sound, you make the sound. And when you are ready, when you know how exactly you should do it, try to say these two sounds one after another. Okay? This is like I'm telling you how to practice this and how to learn it. And when you say the sound, make the changes, all of them, right after you say this sound, say this sound and make the changes. Start slowly and little by little make it faster. Make it faster. Fa, ah, ah. Yes, this goes in the word fast. Fast. It's fast in American English, but that word is fast in British English. So practice this and then continue so we can see words, practice the new sound in new words in this unit. Go on. Well, Aunt Angela's favorite fish. What was it? Carp, carp, carp. That little cat had problem with her heart. Heart, heart, heart. Uncle Brad went to the sea and filled his cart with a lot of carps. So, cart, cart. They had an argument about building a new barn. Barn, barn. This is Hunter and he's not on the road driving. He wants to park his car. Right before he goes to his uncle's hut, he parks his truck. minimal pair words. So we have the sound, the old sound that we used to learn the new sound. It makes problems when we want to hear them, listen to them, and try to understand the differences. And we need to practice and hear them and say them next to each other to make sure we won't make mistakes. So be careful. You don't have to say the words. You can just focus on what you hear and make the changes in your mouth. Just make changes. No voice. Don't make a sound. Okay? Just try to focus on your mouth and the changes. That's the most important thing now.
Minimal pairs A. 2A.
Cap, carp. Hat, heart. Cat, cart. Ban, barn. Pack, park.
Now, if you're ready, we can start making sounds and repeat after the words. Are you ready for that? We need to repeat and at the same time focus on the way we say it. Focus on your mouth, okay? Let's continue.
Minimal pairs A. 2A.
Cap, carp. Hat, heart. Cat, cart. Ban, barn. Pack, park.
Now we'll listen to these words twice. The first time you just look and listen carefully to the sounds and read the word, the spelling. You see the word, but you don't repeat. Then I play again, and that's when you can both see the word and repeat after it. Let's do this.
2A.
Cap, carp. Hat, heart. Cat, cart. Ban, barn. Pack, park.
Now listen carefully, look at the words, and repeat. Please pause whenever you need to pause.
2A.
Cap, carp. Hat, heart. Cat, cart. Ban, barn. Pack, park.
So this letter, the letter R, the sound R, which is actually silent here, it changes, the quality and the features of vowels. So when it comes after this vowel sound, it makes it different. It's not the sound ah anymore. Now it's ah. It's something new. It affects the vowel before it. Okay, now that we know the words and we have practiced saying them and make the sound correctly, it's time to practice noticing the sounds. So, you will hear 5 words from each minimal pair. For each word, write 1 for a, sound 1, or 2 for ah, sound 2. Pair 1. Let's listen.
2B.
Carp, cap, cap, carp, carp,
Let's listen again and check.
carp, cap, cap, carp, carp.
hat, heart, heart, hat, heart, hat, heart, heart, hat, heart.
Cat, cat, cart, cart, cat. Cat, cat, cart, cart, cat.
Barn, ban, barn, barn, ban. Barn, ban, barn, barn, ban.
Pack, 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 park, park. Pack, 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 park, park.
Okay, now let's go to the next stage of the lesson. What do you think that is? You're right. Minimal pair sentences. And here, again, I want to remind you of the steps, each step that we need to take when we want to produce the sentences in which we have the new sound and also the old sound from Unit 5. So let's see. The first step. What do you think we should do? What would you do if you had sentences and you wanted to learn to say them? You know, I know that's very easy because you know the words, and that's the point. If you want to practice pronouncing something, you need to choose the words and sentences and structures that are very easy for you and you know them very well. So if they are very easy, it's just, the words. But the focus is the sound. And in all 3 steps, we do listen. I'm going to play it like 3 times. And what happens in our minds? Nothing? Yes, things happen in your mind, a lot of complicated things. We think about the changes in our mouths. We are learning to pronounce the sound correctly. So, what we think about is our mouths. And we do this in all the steps. So, remember, think Focus on that. Make the sound while you are trying to correctly change things in your mouth. And in the first two steps, like step 1 and 2, we think about some kind of meaning because the sentence has meaning. You see, in here, in step 1, the focus on meaning is very, very little compared to our focus on meaning in step 2. Why? Well, it can be different for every person, but what I want to emphasize here is that, okay, this is like the first time that we want to think about the changes in our mouths while we are using the new sound in the words in sentences. This is like the first time we put them in the sentences and we want to practice saying them. So, when you listen for the first time and you focus on your mouth, then of course you don't pay a lot of attention to meaning compared to the second step. And when you have done this, when you listen and maybe you replay and make the changes again, it's no problem. When you are finished with this part, then in the second step, you have control over the changes in your mouth. You have practiced it in the step before. Now your attention can be more focused on meaning in the second step. Right? In these two, we had a picture and just the audio. And now, in the last part, we do make the changes in our mouths. We do focus on meaning, but something new is added. We see sentences, so we focus on written forms. It would be difficult and unsatisfying if we had the step 3 only. If we didn't do these two and only started by doing this, it would be hard. Your mind would get tired and maybe the sound would be very wrong. So these one by one steps are for you to help you go through this easily. So I want you to pay attention and be careful. You should not say anything in step 1. Okay, if you're ready, then we can start. Let's go.
What a lovely cap. What a lovely carp. What a lovely cap. What a lovely carp. What a lovely cap. What a lovely carp. He touched his hat. He touched his heart. He touched his hat. He touched his heart. He touched his hat. He touched his heart. It's a farm cat. It's a farm cart. It's a farm cat. It's a farm cart. It's a farm cat. It's a farm cart. There's a ban on it. There's a barn on it. There's a ban on it. There's a barn on it. There's a ban on it. There's a barn on it. I'll pack the car. I'll park the car. I'll pack the car. I'll park the car. I'll pack the car. I'll park the car.
Well done. I think that you have practiced very well and you are ready to practice. We are going to hear in each number only one sentence from each minimal pair sentence that we just had. We need to decide a or ah. Which one do you hear in that minimal pair sentence? First we listen and then we'll check. Ready? Let's start.
What a lovely carp.
There's a ban on it.
He touched his hat.
It's a farm cart.
I'll pack the car. What a lovely carp.
There's a ban on it.
He touched his hat.
It's a farm cart.
I'll pack the car.
Okay, let's check out the new sound in a short dialogue from the book. And we see that two people are watching cars racing and they talk about these cars and they use some adjectives to describe the cars. And you can think of any adjectives to talk about cars. They don't have to have the new sound in them. They can have a or the sound from Unit 5 a. Just try to write some adjectives before we listen to this part. What do you think they say about the cars? Pause and give your answers. Let's listen.
Marvellous cars, aren't they?
Wonderful. Fantastic. So fast.
They are. They are.
Well, first of all, I know that they're very excited. Did you hear the adjectives they used to talk about the cars? I had fast, wonderful. Do you know more? Listen again carefully and count the number of times you heard the sound ah.
Marvellous cars, aren't they?
Wonderful. Fantastic. So fast.
They are. They are. Marvellous cars, aren't they?
Wonderful. Fantastic. So fast.
They are. They are.
Now, do you know how many ah sounds we have in here? Did you count? And now let's see the answers. So we had 6 ah sounds in this short dialogue. Look at the words. Marvelous, marvelous. It means wonderful, extremely good. Cars aren't, fast, are. You can see that we have silent R's. You know, we don't say them. Whenever this letter, the R sound in American English, comes after vowels in British English, those become silent. We don't say them. So this is silent R. And they come after the letter A, A-R, and together they make this sound. When this letter is not silent, can you find it in this sentence where it is not silent? It has a sound. We say aren't, aren't, aren't they? Why? Because after this we have a vowel. Then we pronounce it. In here, they are, they are. We have no vowel sound after this, but in here we have aren't. So we say aren't, we don't say aren't. No. But in here we don't say it because it's cars. We have a vowel? No. Marvelous. Marv. V. It's not a vowel, so we don't say it. We make it silent. And there is a difference between this R and this in here. The R sound in here is silent. In here, we pronounce it. But the sound, the vowel sound before it, changes. In here, it's long because the R sound is silent. But in here, the R sound is voiced. It has a sound. So this R is not R. It's shorter. It's not a long sound anymore. R in here and in here, 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 and here, they are the normal sound R. But in here, because we pronounce the R sound, aren't, this becomes shorter. And just remember that we don't have to have AR next to each other to make this. You see, this is EA before R and it says heart. Here it is just A and it sounds R. fast. So it has different spellings, but we know, and I just told you the rule for AR next to each other and when it's silent. When it's silent, R is not silent, it becomes shorter. Now, let's listen again to this dialogue and pause after each sentence and repeat.
Marvellous cars, aren't they?
Wonderful. Fantastic. So fast.
They are. They are